Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's now coming into December and we're heading towards the holiday period, and this is basically this will be a late winter Christmas update on what I've been doing. Now, I had fully intended to use this time after my after completing my uh, cyborg to get back and work on my bigger starships. But I had really intended to do this, but I was wandering back from work and, as is my wont, looking in some skips along the way, and I came across this thing which had been dumped, which was a Dyson. It's a Dyson vacuum cleaner, and I just couldn't resist it. I couldn't resist it because I thought this makes a fantastic speeder. So I'm going to. I just had to take it and go with it. So I've started construction on it already, and this is going to be my Christmas build over the Christmas period. Hopefully, I can get this done. Several Christmases ago, I did a speeder bike, and I'm hoping that this is going to be just as quick and just as nice to do over the Christmas period. Is to do a speeder, and this is going to be it. And it's going to. This takes. I mean, look at it. It looks exactly like a jet engine, which I suppose basically it's based on. Really, it has a kind of jet engine shapes to it. So I'm going to greeble this up, put uh, a guy on it. This is my um, person who's going to be on it, my rider, and he's going to sort of fit somewhere along here. I don't know exactly where yet, but he's going to fit somewhere along there, and we're going to have a speeder bike, or rather a anti-gravity speeder transport thing. Again, looking like it's been cobbled together. Lots of rust, lots of gunge, and yeah, might be for the Star Wars universe. Might not be for the Star Wars universe. Possibly will be for the Star Wars universe. But that's going to be my Christmas late winter Christmas build to keep me occupied over the Christmas period. So onward and upward. Let's see how we go. Yeah, as I say, couldn't resist it. It was there crying out to be converted, and I thought, yeah, gonna go for it. Gonna go for it. Right. So this is my Christmas build. Let's see how far we can get. And so work continues on my land speeder, or what I would call a kind of single engine pod racer. um, you'll notice this is obviously familiar to model makers and toy enthusiasts. This is Poe's land speeder, which I have used bits of before, and that's been put onto the top of the engine. The engine, as I say, is going to be lots of greebled up, so lots and lots of tubing and stuff like that, which is going to be used and put into place. And I have put handlebars onto the top of the machine, and I have now got another rider that fits the handlebars because the other ones didn't, and that's going to go. Sorry, that's going to go up there. And so since it's in place there, and that's going to look like that. I'm going to put some footrests on there to show him that he's comfortably up there, and more or less that's what it's going to look like. So as I say, it's a single-engined pod racer, which I'm sure some of them had, and I think that's going to work very nicely indeed. Lots of work obviously to do on it, but it already looks like it's going very, very quickly and very, very fast, even if it's standing still. And I really like that. This is coming together nicely. The time will be the time taken will be in the putting in the all the details on the engine itself. I'm going to have to use reference photographs of actually existing jet engines to see exactly what they look like, and see what we can do to make him look authentic. But yeah, that's coming along nicely. So that's going there. And putting that to one side for a moment, I've also been today, because it's Saturday, out as my usual, going into junk shops and thrift stores, having a look around, and I found some bits and pieces which I think are going to work this way. I found that, which is obviously caterpillar tracks, and I also found, oops, this, which is an old Batmobile thing, and that's going to go and fit on top like that. And I think this is going to be some kind of Scarab, which I'm going to go look at the Scarab because it looks like a Scarab or Beetle land vehicle. I found these. This comes from the motorcycle actually that I used from the rider. This is the back wheels, and they're going to fit on the front like that, or around there. You'll see it when it's all done. So this is going to be a land vehicle of some sorts, which I'm going to start putting together as well. And I can open this up like that, and I have here an innards of a toy. I think it comes from a G.I. Joe thing, and that's going to fit nicely in there, and the cockpit still closes. And I have even a little figure, which one is cut down a bit because it's a bit too large at the moment. I'm going to cut it down a bit and put it in, and then he's going to fit in there when he's fitting properly, and then this will close, and yeah, and it will close because that figure is maneuverable, and that's going to be the figure sitting inside it. So yeah, all in all, I've got this little sort of military Scarab vehicle, which I'm going to sort of cod up as well and greeble up, and that's going to be another one working in tandem with my land speeder. So two things that I'm working on, and it's coming together pretty quickly, so I'm continuing to work on them. And yeah, this in actual fact is going to be an entry to the latest Scratch Build magazine, because they want land vehicles and tanks and stuff like that, so this will probably fit the bill quite nicely. Right, onward and upward. Let's get on with it, because I'm really excited. As I said before in my last post, I have my mojo back. I'm really excited about these two builds, and they're gonna work. Right, onward and upward. And there's the general shape of the Scarab, and as you can see, that's also taking shape now. So yeah, really happy with that wheel in the front. That kind of makes it really. It kind of gives it this futuristic military look, kind of a military dragster or chopper bike or whatever, but it's yeah, it's looking nicely, and that raises up like that, and there's the figure inside it. I've had to chop his legs off a little bit to get him in, but that's okay. I can fake that up eventually, and we'll do something about that, make him look as if he's whole, and we'll put in a cockpit so that he's driving something. He looks like he's driving something, but I like the idea that the cockpit can go backwards and forwards, which is nice. But yeah, so that's working nicely. Obviously, these are going to be weapons pods or something like that. We're going to have a light in the front, some kind of big searchlight. But yeah, the profile looks nice. I like that. And we might have a big sort of like have a turret on the top. Could be a two-man sort of patrol vehicle with a guy in the top with a turret and a gun at the top. We'll have to look at that as well. But I like that. So that's the Scarab, and yeah, working again, as I say, continuing to work on the pod racer, single engine pod racer, which is what I think this is going to be eventually. So yeah, good day's work. Right, I'm off for a couple of days actually from work, so I can continue working on these two things over the next day or two. Lovely. Right, onward and upward. So, more work done today on the two models. This is my Scarab, and as you can see, I have fabricated more detail onto the front wheel. That's a motorcycle, the headlight from a motorcycle kit. This is a trigger from a spray bottle, which I think makes a fantastic mud guard. And then I have filled in around the side as well with various different greeblers to fill in these gaps inside there. You can't see that because it's rather black, but it's filled in some containers, some canisters in there. And then round the back, if I turn it round, just a minute, I'll turn it round. and the back's been worked on as well, as you can see, down the front, down the back there. So we're getting there, we're moving on, and we're getting some nice shapes and some nice profiles developed. I'm still waiting for something to arrive for the top, and when it arrives, well, I'll show you if it works or not, but it's the Scarab. That's the Scarab at the moment, and I'm happy with that. It's looking quite good. And then we've got the single-engined pod racer, and I've just added some bits of. I've added a jet engine at the back, an engine intake at the back, and put these fins at the front, which I think adds quite a bit of detail. That's coming in nicely. So that's at the front as well. Then I'm going to be greebling up with lots of pipe work around the main engine itself. But that's what it's looking like at the moment, and that's coming along nicely. So we're able to keep the two things going at the same time. Yeah, I'm happy with the profiles. The profiles are coming on really nicely. So that's working nicely. And yeah, with keeping the two things in tandem and working at the same time, I think I'll get the two models finished more or less at the same time if I'm lucky enough. Yeah, sometimes, as I've said before, sometimes models can prove to be put together quite quickly. Having said that, I still haven't done the pipe work. That could slow me down quite a bit. And greebling up the Scarab could also slow me down because I want to make it a lot more military looking with panel work, and I will might have to buy a World War II Tamiya kit to give me some kind of military greeblies that come from that, because yeah, at the moment, well, it's a cross between a military thing and a Mad Max kind of grunge vehicle, but yeah, we'll see how it turns out, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Right then, anyway, onward and upwards. That's what I've got done so far today, and we'll see how far we can continue with it. So more work on the Scarab, which I am renaming the Armadillo because it's now resembling more of an armadillo than a Scarab. So the Armadillo has been worked on today, mainly on the Armadillo. I haven't really done much on the other model, the speeder bike, because I've been putting more pieces onto this particular model. As you can see, I have been refabricating the top and putting on a roof. I was initially going to put a gun emplacement on the top here, which was this thing, but it was looking a little bit too big, out of place and out of scale, so I decided to go with a hatch, so that this becomes now a kind of two-man reconnaissance vehicle, and I'll have to figure out a way of how the guy gets into the top using some stairs, because the pilot obviously can get in through the open canopy there, but in order to make logical sense, he has to climb onto the top to get into the hatch that way. So yeah, so we'll work out a way of putting him into there. And I've also been working on the back of the model too. Quite a bit of fabrication has gone on to the back to make it look like a massive kind of engine, which is the idea of this reconnaissance, all-terrain reconnaissance vehicle. So lots of engine parts there, and as I say, there's the hatch at the back there. So yeah, this is what it's looking like from that angle. Lots of detail. We'll put some more wiring and some more cabling into it as well. So yeah, it's coming along. I'm going to try and see if I can figure out a way of putting some kind of machine gun at the top. I think it would look good with a machine gun as a form of defense. But so this it's a kind of cross between a Jeep and a small land what was it? I think it was the Scorpion tank, which was a mainstay of the British Army in the late 1980s, 1990s. So yeah, this is kind of like my idea of it. A small reconnaissance vehicle, which I think works nicely. It has to be small because it's in line, it's in scale with the figure that's inside of it. Just turn it around. That's it from the other side. So yeah, it's coming along, and now we're going to see. I might say have to go back to the other craft now and see how far we can get with that. But I think that's enough for today. Done quite a bit, and we put some filler into it as well. So it's coming along. Right, onward and upward. We will continue this project. And so a full day concentrating on the Armadillo light reconnaissance, all-terrain light reconnaissance vehicle, which is what I'm calling it. As you can see, I have been fabricating quite a lot today. So we'll start with what I've been doing around the edges. As you can see, I have fabricated a kind of ladder effect to indicate that the person could climb up from the bottom onto the top. On the top of the Armadillo, I have got this machine gun, which comes from a Warhammer 4000 bits and pieces. I got a sprue of Warhammer 4000 bits and pieces junk, and I have fabricated a machine gun from it, which I'm quite happy with. As I say, down the sides, I have put more fabrication into the sides there, and then going over to the front, I'll just move this around. You can see that the front has a front weapons pod there, which has a cannon attached to it. Inside the cockpit, I fabricated a bit more of the cockpit, giving it my. I like doing these kind of computer tactical display units which come out from the back. So that's the pilot has that in the pilot seat. Put that down again, and then we'll move around a bit more. On the other side, again, this is more of a sensor unit on this side, and then more fabrication on the side of the Armadillo, and then another weapons pod up the top here. This is a multi warhead weapons launcher or grenade launcher at the top there, fabricated to the side, and there's some more greeblies at the front as well. So the overall effect, as I say, is one of a, it's kind of it's fast. I wanted it to look kind of fast and threatening, which is I think it does. And at the back, more greebling and putting some more detailing at the back. Now you can't see, as I say, it looks a bit of a mishmash today, and the weather has been absolutely dreadful, so I wasn't able to get out and actually do any priming, which is what I wanted to do. So I just had to I've had to just content myself with just putting more work onto it, fabrication wise. But I'm getting to the edge of it now. I might put a bit more pipe work. I'll do some more pipe work, I think, at the back, and then leave it at that. I think basically that's it. Basically, we've got there in the end. I'll just move around. Yeah, I think basically that's the shape, and that's what we're looking at, and I think that works. And I think that's going to be the basic fabrication. So yeah, I'm going to prime it now as soon as the weather clears up. Because today has been, as I say, it's been shit. It's really been terrible. So we'll wait for the weather to clear up, then I can prime it and then paint it. I'm not sure whether it's going to be a khaki green or a desert warfare kind of machine. Might do desert warfare, because that would marry in with some of the other mechs that I've done recently. I don't know. We'll see. Or perhaps khaki. Anyway, that's basically it. And we're just starting tidying up now. So I've concentrated on the Armadillo. I'll go back obviously to the speeder bike, but I've left the speeder bike for now. I'm getting pieces together for that. Actually, I'm actually building up a bit of a junk box over there for pieces for the speeder bike as I see it fit, because I want to sort of spend time solely on the speeder bike when I get there. But I wanted to finish off the Armadillo, since the Armadillo was the more completed model, so to speak. And hopefully I'll get them both and get them done in time with Christmas, because it's now beginning of December, so I've got another couple of weeks to get this done for the December holidays. Right, onward and upward, let's continue. So turning my attention back to the single engine pod racer, and I'm starting to um, fill that out with more greeblies and bits and pieces, pipe work and so on. And I changed the front intake to make it, and I've always liked this chrome effect, so I'm going to keep the chrome effect by when I paint it, masking the chrome so it doesn't get painted upon. And yeah, lots more pipe work, a bit more and more detailing and greeblies around the back, and I've improved the engine, the back engine exhaust. You might recognise this bit here. It's from a broken Anakin Speeder pod racer toy, so that fits quite nicely in there, gives it more of a jet engine kind of look. And we'll just turn it round, and again pipe work on the other side. I'm going to put some filler in to merge in these gaps up here, but that's what it's looking like. I won't overdo the pipe work, it doesn't need to be totally overdone. I'll put in a bit more, but not too much, because I don't want it to look stupid. I'm particularly happy with these two things. The other one on the other side, as you can see. You know what these look were going to be? Footrests for the rider. If I put the rider on like that, and I'll get it right. There you go. You see the footrests coincide with it, and I quite like that. It looks quite good. It gives again. We're always looking for internal logic for these machines to make them look as if they really could exist, you know, in real life. And I think this is beginning to look like it could exist quite nicely. I'm going to use a rust-coloured red primer for it, like I've done on some of the other models, because then I can rust it up a bit better and make it look old and decrepit. I'm not sure really whether this is part of the Star Wars universe. I mean, you know, the more I think about it, it could be an alternative diesel punk, alternative history universe set, perhaps even on Earth. You never know, because there's lots of nice diesel punk looking stuff on YouTube and on the internet, various websites, and I quite like that kind of aesthetic. But I certainly think that the using a Dyson Hoover well, you know, this was the original springboard, because it just cried out to being a jet engine, and yeah, it lends itself very nicely to that. Right, well, let's continue, and we'll see how far we can go. But as I say, this probably doesn't require too much in the way of detailing. Although you know me, once I get started, you can't stop. Anyway, let's continue with this and see how far we can get it. So I've been concentrating on the left side of the pod racer, and you can see that I have greebled up the left side with wiring and bits and pieces, possibly put a bit more into it. I haven't started on the other side, of course, but you need to do that. And I've also decided to bite the bullet and put back the original rocket engines on Poe's speeder anyway, because I think actually they look good and it works quite well. So I was pondering what to do with the backup bit, and I thought, well, you know, the simplest solution is probably the best, because it looks good from that angle. there's no reason why I can't just go ahead and use it. So yeah, so I put them back, and I think that will work as a back detail, and I'll do something more to it, but the whole overall effect is that of a jet engine, kind of lots of jet engine motifs to it, which I think is going to work as a diesel punk speeder racer, pod racer thingy. Right, I'm going to have to start working on the other side now to get the other side in line with the left side. But yeah, and then I'll cover it with a coat of primer, and that should bring everything into focus more. Right, onward and upward. Let's continue. So between this section and the last section, a couple of weeks have passed because I've been busy at work, and we're now moving into the Christmas period. In actual fact, this is the week before Christmas. I will be working on this during the Christmas period, you know, in between mince pies and getting stuffed with turkey, but this is what I've been working on so far, basically adding a lot more fabrication to the back of the single-engined land speeder or pod racer or whatever. As you can see, lots of pipe work going in there. I'm going to, and I've added this bit of structure down here. I'm going to add some looped coiled cable coming down just to give it some kind of sense of gravity, that it's actually floating. Yeah, as I say, lots of different cabling to sort of signify some kind of jet engine kind of affair. And then I've got to start on this area here, which I might leave a little bit more blank, a little bit more was in plain, because it doesn't need to be totally covered in bits and pieces and bits and bobs, because this is the main engine back here. I'll turn the thing around and you can see the other side as well, and that's the other side. As I say, once it's primed with my rust colored primer, the thing will start to pop out and be a bit more cohesive. I've got to work along the top here. There's some bits of some gaps here. There's a little gap there, and as I say, perhaps I'll put some paneling, but not actual cabling. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'll look at some reference photographs and see what that looks like. And also I've got to work on the back bit as well up here, because well, there's a big hole there, isn't there? So I need to fill that as well. But yeah, so that's coming along, and then once this has been primed, I can get on with the Armadillo vehicle, which I was doing earlier, and I want to finish that one off as well. As I said, hopefully the two projects will finish at the same time. That's my ambition anyway, and you'll probably get this post just after the new year by the time I've finished with it, but you know, I think the wait will be worth it. I hope the wait will be worth it. Anyway, let's continue. So this is what I've done so far. We'll continue and see how far we can get. So we're getting near to the end of the fabrication now, and I picked, as you can see, this is from an old Nerf gun pistol, and it makes a very nice cowling, engine cowling on the machine. I think that works quite nicely, and it is a bit of a cheat in a sense, because it means that I don't have to do too much detailing underneath, because of course you wouldn't be able to see it anyway. So that kind of works very nicely, I think. And yeah, I was able to put it all the way across and into the other side, so that's quite good. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so that works nicely, and so just a little bit more to do now, I think, tidying up, filling in some more gaps and some holes, and then it's the end of the fabrication, and then we'll just prime it and start painting. So yeah, I think I'm getting on schedule towards so that I can finish this before the new year. Okay, let's continue. So I'm just taking a quick pause to introduce you to my newest tool. Yes, this is what I got for Christmas. I've succumbed to the dark side, perhaps. Well, some people might say it's the dark side. I don't think so now. I am willing to say that I'm willing to use all tools at my disposal to create projects, and well, yes, it's a 3D printer. Um, I'm not going to be using this to print full models though, because for one, it's not that big, and so can't accommodate huge kind of models, this kind of stuff that I do. But it will be useful when I'm doing greeblies, finding and creating greeblies either online or on websites, and yeah. So that's what I'm going to use it for primarily, especially when I'm sort of dealing with different scales of models and want to get the scale right. As I say, it is a Christmas present. It arrived quite unexpectedly. I wasn't really expecting to get this, and but now I've got it. I have already started just practice printing stuff. These are models, 3D models that came with the printer itself. So this was a 3D model, a spaceship. As I say, this is the size that I can get out of it on the print bed. I could probably get bigger stuff because it's, you know, that's the kind of area we're talking about. As I said, it's mainly going to be used for printing greeblies, and I found some websites that I can download greeblies from. And when I get a bit more practice using Blender and some other design programs, I might start designing my own greeblies. Because, as I say, well, the possibilities are pretty endless, I guess. Now, I always swore that I wouldn't use a 3D printer because I was a scratch builder, and I like doing scratch building old school, and I will continue to do that because, after all, I can still create models like that. But it has to be said that the 3D printer is simply another tool in the toolbox, and yeah, and that's what I'll be using. So yeah, it'll take me some time to get used to it, and many months to perfect how to use it properly. So you know, I'll still be going back to the to doing my scratch building. That's never going to change. But as I say, this will provide me with new possibilities and new horizons to explore. So that's the 3D printer. Right, let's continue with the other models and let's try and get them finished. So getting back to the scratch building, and I have finished fabrication of the land of the single engine pod racer, which I'm calling it that. Yeah, so all the fabrication is now more or less finished. We've got lots of detail on this side of the ship, lots of tubing. I have filled in areas around here, around the front as well, and as I say, I got the cowling in. I think I showed you that last time. I've done the back of the ship as well, as you can see, with more greeblies. And just going back to what I was saying before with the 3D printer, now that I've got the 3D printer, I'll be able to download greeblies that I couldn't get before, with more detailing, with greeblies which have, you know, built-in details to them, and they can serve as place markers to put into various positions where I've got to find a greebly in a pre-existing piece of junk. Now the greebly can be printed and put into place. So it's just going to help me basically. But that's the kind of thing I've done so far, with some kind of success on the on finding the greeblies. But you know, greeblies are getting more and more difficult to find these days, believe it or not. So to find stuff that I can actually print out and use is a great help. It's just a basically a labour saving device, really. Anyway, yeah. So basically the fabrication is done on the pod racer. I have put some latex onto the window so that when I do when I come to doing the putting the primer on, the window doesn't get covered in primer. And so that's it. Yeah, so we're finished now. I think that's fine. So the next thing will be the primer, and I can prime the Armadillo, which is up here waiting to be primed. Again, I put latex onto the window as well, so that's now set. So yeah, once the weather has cleared up, because it has been miserable for the past couple of days, I haven't been able to get outside to do it. Once the weather has cleared up, I can now go out and put the primer on and start painting the damn things. But yeah, so I'm still on track. It's just past Christmas, but we're still a couple of well, a week away from the new year. So I'm just hoping I still got another week to go before I have to go back to work. So hopefully during that time there will be ample time for me to finish these models off. And there you can see, just poking out of the background, the next model I'm going to go back to. And now, as I said, that I have a 3D printer and can find greeblies to fit, I'll be able to hopefully finish this one off as well. Anyway, back to the models and priming time, I think. Okay, so I have put the coat of my sort of base color coat on, and that's what it's looking like. I really think that base coat now has brought out um, the jet engine feel to the model, and yeah. I've now run out of time because I've got to go back to work. So I'm gonna post now, I think, and then on my next post in a couple of weeks' time, I'll finish this off and I'll show you what it looks like weathered, because I haven't had a chance to weather it. But I'm showing it to you now because I think the base coat here has brought out some really nice features of the jet engine feel to it, and has given the whole machine a nice glossy look to it, which I'm happy with. So that's that side, and I'll just turn it round. I've kept the chrome at the front, as you can see. I'll just turn it round and you can see the other side as well. Oops. I say I'm really happy with that, how the wiring and as I say this jet engine feel has come out now. It looks, and I won't weather it that much, I don't think, because I do like this glint and this kind of almost showroom look to the whole thing. Although no, I will weather it down a bit because I don't want it to look too new. But yeah, that's what it looks like, and I'm quite happy with that overall. Yeah, that's worked very nicely indeed. So there you are. That's the single engine pod racer, which, as I say, the next bit will be to weather it slightly, but only slightly. I'm not going to give it too much of a weathering. I do like the glossy look to it. I think that really sets it off, and yeah, it gives it a nice feel to it. And we've got the top there, the motorcycle vibe at the top there with the guy sitting on it, which I think sells it up there as well. So yeah, that's I'm happy with that. That's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to show you the Armadillo because I've also painted that as well. And here's the Armadillo. And again, I haven't weathered it. I have just given it its base coat of khaki. But that is now the Armadillo painted and fabricated. The fabrication is finished. So the engine at the back will be dirted down and weathered, but I'm not going to give it too much of a sort of like a gunmetal look. I think the khaki works quite nicely as a base coat for the engine unit anyway. So it just needs to be dirted a lot. That's all. But I think that works quite well. We'll just turn it around a bit. There's the back of the Armadillo, and we come around this way as well. I think it's looking really good, and when it is weathered, and obviously it'll be weathered a lot more than the other machine, than the single engine pod racer, because I want this to look dirtied, and I want this to look as if it's been in the wars, which you know, it's built for a war machine. It's a reconnaissance vehicle, light reconnaissance vehicle. I like the top. The top is looking pretty good. It all looks as if it's supposed to be there. All the beats, all the detailing and everything else has worked quite well on the top. And as I say, the weathering will bring that out more. But it does look as if it's all meant to be together. It's all meant to, you know, gel and work together. I'll go over the cockpit a bit more. And there's the guy in the cockpit, which again will require some painting and some filling, I think. I'll do a little bit more work inside it just to bring that up to, you know, to better spec, but that works. All right, so guys, that's those two models more or less done over the Christmas and New Year period, and I more or less got it done in time, but I just didn't finish off the weathering in time, but most of it has been achieved. And just to give you a little taster of the new year and things to come, so I'm going back onto onto my big YT freighter, and since I have, as I've said before, got my mojo back, I feel more confident now in getting this done and getting this up and running and completed, and that's the next one. And then over the new year, we'll be looking at other projects. Now that I have a 3D printer, I can start printing some greeblies for my machines, which will be a great help. And as I say, there is in my workshop lots of other things that I need to be looking at. I'll be finishing off, for instance, my big freighter up there. That's going to be looked at next, and possibly other bits and pieces as well. There's my ships over there, which have been lying dormant for some time. They need to be back on the bench as well. Right, well, everybody, have a great and fantastic new year, and I hope it brings peace and creativity and love and understanding to everyone and all, and your families as well. Have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye now, everyone. Goodbye.